Episode 3 of another podcast. We're recording.
We're live. This is live. This is go time.
Ready,
We
break.
got Max here.
Hi, everyone.
They've got the convenient mic, so I got the one that I have to hold to my face the whole time.
Where's my camera? Is this my camera?
That's
Right
your
here, that
camera.
one? Okay.
Mine's right there. That's Josiah's. And then there's our collective.
So you're saying don't talk into Josiah's camera?
No,
If you're
don't.
talking to my camera,
Turn like
I'm
that.
leaving.
Okay. How dare you talk to my camera?
Episode 3, we already lost Josiah. I mean, it's all right. Our numbers are going down anyways.
Yeah, right. I figured I'd help
plummeting.
you out. Maybe they'll go up if I leave.
Right?
Maybe you're...
I mean, I'm here, so I expect it to go down at least another 80%.
Okay. I was kind of thinking you might pump those numbers
Hopefully
up, but I guess we'll see what happens. You said that you had some questions
I had some questions. I mean,
that would be funny for us.
funny for us, enjoyable for the viewers.
And
Started off with the question.
I'm
Let's see.
excited
Let's
to
start
hear
off.
them.
If animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest?
Which animal would be the rudest?
If they could talk.
Probably a cat.
Like cat?
They're always so sassy. I mean, they're pushing cups off of tables and stuff. I mean, they're just
Staring you down while they do it,
staring you
too.
down.
You're
Just-
probably right.
you should probably get
The thing is,
that.
they wouldn't even talk. They wouldn't even talk.
Cats
They
are
just-
pretty rude.
They just look at you, knock it off, and walk away. And walk away.
Did I do that? Not my problem.
Let me tell you, I used to have a cat, and when I would be sleeping, it would just come up to me and hit me in the face. I'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Hey, you.
No sleeping for you.
That's pretty rude.
I can't argue with cat.
I would go
Cat's
maybe
straight on
a
point.
crow.
A crow?
Bro.
You just look at them; they just look rude.
They do.
They always are looking at you like, what could I do to make you mad?
They look like they're ready to steal.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Steal your food.
Right. Maybe an ostrich or an emu, too, though.
Yeah.
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 Just getting all up in your grill.
Do you think a panda would be a kind animal if
Yeah,
it
for
could
an
talk?
example of a kind animal, yeah, it'd be a panda. I feel like it'd just come give you a big
Just be like, oh, you can do it. That's okay. Everything's fine.
It's a very motivating panda. It's all okay.
Oh, you
You'll be
failed?
all
That's all right. We all fail.
Just broke his arm. It's okay. I'll be fine.
We all
Oh, your
fail.
views went down?
Don't worry about
That's
it.
okay. At least I'm watching.
Have some bamboo. It's all right. It's okay.
Makes everything better.
It's okay. Oh, man. All right, so I got another one here. Let's see. Is cereal soup?
Is cereal soup?
I think I'm going to go with yes. I mean, does soup have to be hot, though?
I've never really enjoyed cold soup.
Right, but it's still soup.
It is still soup.
Even though
I
it's
have
cold.
eaten cold soup,
Right.
and I thought, this soup is cold.
I mean, it's basically cereal soup.
The soup doesn't get soggy. Cereal does.
It's fair.
I mean, I don't know. The
I mean, I guess
stuff
it
that's,
depends on what's
usually
in
the
the
stuff
soup.
that's in soup is soggy. You just like it that way.
I'm just prepared for the consistency. I'm not prepared for
Yeah, right.
for soft
Soggy.
cinnamon toast crunch. There's no
It's all
crunch
about
if
the
it's soggy.
preparedness of whether it's soup or not.
Oh, man. Let's see. I got one more that I knew you guys would really like. What sport would be the funniest if you had to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to be
A
consumed
mandatory
before?
amount of alcohol. I think they'd all be fun.
Right? It'd all be quite enjoyable. But which would be the most fun?
Maybe football?
Maybe football?
Maybe
I'd go basketball.
basketball?
Basketball.
You'd be really struggling to make shots.
I feel
with
like
basketball.
baseball
There'd be a
would
lot
be...
of
With
traveling.
football, I mean, you can be real drunk, but you can still do a handoff and run around. And
I feel like baseball would be terrible. It's just a bunch of walks and or strikeouts. just the
True,
entire
but
time.
baseball would probably be that way whether we're drunk or not.
I feel like batting averages go way down. though.
You're right.
If all the football players are drunk, nobody has to tackle anybody because everyone's just going to fall over.
Right? There you go,
Right.
right?
So,
Oh.
so
I just imagine the offensive lineman just tipping forward. Just, ah,
where's my block? Sorry.
he's laying.
Sorry,
ground.
He's
I
on
had
the
to get
ground.
a drink.
He's on the ground right there. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Which sport do you think they'll invent next?
Flag football.
You think they'll invent
In
it?
the Olympics.
It's brand new in the Olympics. I mean, I don't know that it's invented though.
Well, it's a new thing. The new, it would be the League of Dad Jokes.
League of Dad Jokes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And if,
Are you going to compete?
yeah, it's like if you have the best joke, you win.
Mm.
Or maybe if you have the worst joke, you win.
Wouldn't that just be like stand-up comedy? but bad.
But you know, dad jokes have a certain style.
Stand-up comedy.
Like I said,
certain
just
style.
bad instead.
It's awful.
You know, each sport has its own style, so you know, makes sense that you'd have to stick with the dad joke style, which is like, why the chicken crossed the road? Because something like that. Yeah.
I just got a feeling it's not
Standard awful dad joke.
I'm not sure that's
Standard
going to take
awful
off, though. That's all I'm saying.
I'd probably watch it. And I'd
You
be
watch
able
the
to make
first
my-
3, and then you'd be like, I'm done.
Done.
So it's all downhill from here.
There's no improving from this point. From this point on.
I do have a great dad joke though.
Let it fly.
Okay.
Let it fly.
So there was these 2 cannibals eating a clown,
Okay.
and one cannibal said to the other, "Does this taste funny to you?" Sorry, I should have been able to get through it. I've heard it several times.
Yeah, like you've already lost. If it's one of those competitions, you've lost.
All right, that's
Because you
how
gain
it
a point.
is.
You can't laugh at your own joke either.
That's how you do the dad joke.
That's how you
league.
do the dad
can't
joke.
laugh.
Now I'm
They-
wishing I had come ready with some dad jokes. That's how I let it fly.
Yeah. So that's how the points are scored. If someone says a joke and you laugh, you
Then you get a point.
If this is a new sport, we
But you
can start
yourself
it right
can't
now.
laugh too, because you also take a point then.
yeah. I would lose a point because I laughed at my own joke. So
Right.
you'd get a point, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I would. That's how it works.
Because well, I mean, you kind of chuckled a little bit.
A little bit. No, I laugh.
So I guess it's flags on the play on both sides or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Offsetting penalties. Can we go back
Offsetting
to 0?
penalties.
This game's always a tie.
Probably most of the time. There's not a lot of
We'll call it
winners.
soccer.
That is terrible. You watch soccer for 45 minutes.
0-0.
and It's a draw.
Remember when
Nothing's
that guy
changed.
almost made a goal?
Yeah, I feel like there's not. Is it worse if the game's just 0-0 all the way through, or is it better if it's exciting, like it's like 5-5, but it still ends in a draw?
I mean, I'd rather it be 5-5.
Right, I'd rather
Yeah.
be 5-5.
But regardless, all sports should never end in a draw. Draws are dumb, and everybody should stop doing it.
I think it's fair.
Even football does it, though.
And it's stupid.
At least during the regular
It's really
season.
stupid.
Like a field goal shootout.
yeah,
Yeah.
The only
that'd be
way
cool.
to decide it.
Yeah, field goal shootout or
Punt-
like
Actually, the punters don't get enough love. It's punters competing for distance. Who can just punt it the furthest?
I think
Farthest kick.
in football, if overtime nobody scores a point, the next overtime everybody just starts in the red zone.
Start on the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
Got to get a touchdown.
got to get a touchdown.
Yes.
First person to get a touchdown wins. And there you go. Problem solved. No more draws.
I'd support that.
Yeah,
I mean, if it went to overtime and it was still a tie, just put them on the 10-yard line.
yeah. Just
Right?
somebody get a point.
Somebody score.
Somebody score.
Somebody do it.
Was that all your questions?
Yeah, well, maybe I'll come out with you
Okay.
later.
Well, I had a topic I wanted to bring up. So this was something that was on Flagrant. They were talking about this topic. If a family member is asking for money, and what do you do?
I mean, I guess there's follow-up questions to that. Would
Yeah.
be,
So let's
how much
say
money is it?
the
What
first
is it
time
for?
they ask for money, they're like, "Hey, can I get $1,000?" What do you do?
Is it just blind, like,
It's like, "Hey, I really
Can I
need
get
$1,000.
$1,000?
Would you give me $1,000?"
It depends a lot who it is,
Depends on who it is.
for sure.
that's who it is, what the history is there.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's like your 30-year-old brother, the answer is no.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a 30-year-old man who can go get his own $1,000.
So if it's like your 18-year-old brother,
I would probably still say no.
okay,
But if it was like your 30-year-old sister who's a single mom, then maybe the answer is yes.
yeah, I'd say the answer is yes. There, that makes
Right.
sense.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of follow-up questions to it. Are kids involved? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Is
if
it
kids are
unfortunate circumstances as to why they need that?
if kids are
$1,000.
involved, it'd probably be always a yes. But if it's just like, "Hey, I spent all my money on drinking.
Right.
Can I get $1,000?"
Yeah, absolutely not.
No.
Hard pass.
"Hey, I got fired. I don't have a job. Can I get $1,000?"
Right.
No.
No.
Hey,
Get out there and get another job.
I need to feed my kids. Can I get $1,000?" Yes. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Right. Let's take the kids to dinner.
Take
Right.
the kids to dinner. Yeah. Okay, my next question. Does money buy happiness?
No.
Why?
It helps, but it's not the sole source of happiness.
Not the soul. What about you? Just said, does money buy happiness?
Money buys the ability to not worry about money.
Money.
Buys comfort. A little more
Money buys no stress.
comfort. Right.
at all.
Or
And
limits
less
stress. I wouldn't say
arguments.
I wouldn't say that it probably
wouldn't say
creates
no
different
stress.
stresses.
But
Maybe
yeah,
different stresses, but it definitely creates less opportunities to argue, let's say if you're married.
Or it could create more.
I mean, I've been on both sides of it, and whenever we have lots of money, we get in less arguments. Whenever things are a little tighter, we both have our own opinion on where the money should go,
On what the priorities are.
I
Gotcha.
So
Definitely not having money is pretty hard.
And honestly, I mean, I don't know really where I land on it, but whenever I have a lot of money, I'm pretty perky.
Pretty
Feels pretty good.
pretty content.
Pretty content.
Well, let me say this.
And-
Maybe it provides some happiness, but doesn't necessarily mean you're
Sure, it's not the
fulfilled.
sole source of
Yeah,
happiness,
it's not
but
sole source of happiness. You're not necessarily fulfilled.
but it does create some.
I would say
happiness.
probably having a lot of money only buys temporary happiness.
Temporary happiness, yeah.
Because eventually you're not going to care about it anymore. But
Sure,
when you
if you
first
have-
get it, you're going to feel great.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. I definitely think, it buys a sense of freedom, a sense of, like you said, comfort.
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, creates less stress, but it's probably not the sole
It's not the
source.
be all end all.
It's probably not the
happiness.
sole source of happiness.
I would agree with that.
But it is pretty great whenever if you have money and you're at Target and your son's like, hey, I really want this $100 thing. Being able to be like, yeah, or being able to say no, knowing you could say yeah.
Right.
That feels good too.
You know I could, son.
You know,
But
I
I won't.
could, but no,
Feels real good to be
not
like,
today.
There's a slight
I could, but I'm not going to.
there's a slight bit of enjoyment as a father in those moments that you're like, you know what? No, just because I don't feel like it.
I think it's important to tell your kid no a lot.
Yes. Yes.
No's are good.
Those are important.
I go to the store
world's gonna
and
give
I
them-
prepare to only say one word, and that word is no.
The world's going to give them a lot of them, so you might as well prep.
I mean, I have fun saying yes too. I get excited too. If like
Yeah, but
Oliver,
it
But
has
the
to be,
yeses are even more fun when you've given a lot of no's.
right. It has to be
Yeah.
rare. If
Right.
it's all
Yes.
the time, then it's not
Then
very
they expect
rewarding.
it,
The
yeah.
yeses
And,
lose their impact.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad for them, really.
like if Oliver wants something that I'm interested in, my answer is 90% of the time yes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Dad, can I get this box of Legos? Yes, you can.
Of course you can.
Let's build it as soon as we get
Yes,
home.
Right.
we can buy that Death Star.
Right? That looks like fun.
That looks like fun.
We were getting into that Lego stage with my son, so I'm getting excited for that stage.
Yeah. it's
Legos
pretty
There
are
will be
fun.
more Legos purchased.
Yeah.
For-
The only unfun part is that he makes all the decisions as far as
yes.
what we're building. So if I start to build something he doesn't like, he's like, no, Dad, crash, destroy.
Ah.
That's not what we're doing.
See, maneuver, we have a similar issue. Maneuver I'd start pulling, though, is you can decide what we build this time, but that means it's Daddy's turn next time. And then we do back and forth.
See, you got to convince him that it's going to be cool. He doesn't
Right.
believe you're going to make something cool.
Right.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I always build something cool. I'm
Does your
full-
kid like to go
I'm full of cool things.
full on master builder, or does he like to follow the instructions and for it to look just like the image?
No, he likes me to follow the instructions, and then once I'm done building it, he's like, you know what would be cooler? If I destroy this and make something completely different.
Right.
Yeah. That's
He has
usually how it goes.
instructions that you built.
So he just wants me to
I don't
build
wanna
the
do
thing
that.
on the picture, and then once it's there, he wants to.
He wants to
Destroy.
I
refine
got an
it.
idea.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
you should try throwing something on the ground
Yeah.
and throwing a fit. Maybe he
Right.
won't do it anymore.
Right.
I should do that.
See how he handles it. Just one time. Record it. Just see how he handles it. Just want to see how he reacts. When-
But I kind of, it's a bit of karma because I used to go, whenever I was a kid, my friend Donnie, he had this airplane
Right.
made out of Legos. And he always would build it and put it on his dresser. And I would come over to his house and I'd see it. And the first few times I came over, I would just grab it and throw it and it, explode. And he got really mad at me. Jared, don't do that. I just built that. Like, I'm sorry, my bad. But later on, I'd come over to his house, I'd grab it and look at him and go, can I destroy it? And the answer was actually often yes.
It was often, yes.
He'd be like, yes, fine.
Because he saw how
Because he knew you were going to do it anyways.
Because he saw how much joy it brought you to destroy it.
Because I'm not a mean kid. I just, like seeing the way Legos look when they
Break.
explode.
I'm not a mean kid.
I'm not mean. I just like breaking things that aren't mine.
I'm not a mean kid. I just
It's like breaking people's stuff.
I'm not mean. I just
Perfectly
enjoy
normal.
chaos.
It's perfectly normal.
I mean, it makes sense in a kid's mind. So
Yeah, made sense in my mind. Still makes sense in my mind. All right, my other topic here I got. Did you guys see that it looks like P. Diddy was the guy that hired somebody to kill Tupac?
No, I did not see this.
Pretty crazy stuff.
what came out to show
Yeah,
that?
So that guy got
what-
arrested. They found. I
Is
guess
this
they.
fresh from TMZ?
This is maybe. I don't know.
So is it official?
internet
Tupac's
somewhere.
definitely dead.
What?
So Tupac's definitely dead officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
Don't know if I believe it.
for sure dead. But the dude, they arrested him, and he confessed that P. Diddy was the guy that hired him to murder him. Pretty crazy.
That is nuts.
It's P. Diddy.
That could be not true though.
I mean, that's what P. Diddy says.
He said it.
He said that he didn't do it.
Oh, of course.
Right. That's the expected response.
Yeah, that's the expected response. I mean, even if he did do it, that's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Because if he confesses to it, then, all right, well, jail. So, I mean, what is he going to say?
Yeah. Right.
Well, off you go.
So, I mean,
But also, that guy did it, and he's just like, well, I got to blame it on someone else. So let me
Yeah,
think
that
of someone
could- that could
famous
be the
that they
case.
could believe. P. Diddy makes sense to me.
could be the case. I just thought that was crazy. Because if that is true, holy crap. Pretty crazy stuff.
It's wild.
Could be true.
Did you guys hear that Taylor Swift put Kelsey on the map?
You get out of here with that nonsense. I know you know better. I know you know better.
Have you seen that video?
No.
Yes, it's
There's
super funny
there's
though
this
on
theme
TikTok.
where
I like the ones where it's flipped though.
yeah,
on TikTok.
Yeah, there's this theme because Travis Kelsey's dating
Yeah. I know.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
In case you didn't see
Yeah.
the 80 times they got
Right.
Taylor during the
In
Chiefs
case you
games.
ever didn't watch a Chiefs game
Yeah.
and noticed that 90% of the time it's just shot of Taylor
Or just
Swift.
turned on the internet.
Right.
Yeah. But they did this thing where wives were telling their husbands, "Babe, did you see that Taylor Swift is dating Travis
Oh,
Kelsey?
that's funny.
He's like famous now."
She like put him on the map.
She
like,
put
he
him
was-
on the map.
Like he was nothing before, and now he's somebody.
Now he turned his life around.
In the women's world, I guess that's true.
I saw those videos, and then I was laying in bed next to my wife, and she tried to do that to me. Like, "Babe, I'm sorry. I've already seen it.
I probably know what's
I know what you're doing."
My favorites of those are the dudes just clearly who have no idea about the trend, and they're just getting so pissed.
Yeah, getting so mad.
So upset, so angry. But then I also like the ones where the guys flip it. It's like, hey, babe, did you see that Travis Kelsey's dating Taylor Swift now?
Yeah.
Totally put her on the map. She was like nothing
This is
before.
nothing. Yeah.
You see Aaron Rodgers going at Travis Kelsey?
I did. He called him Mr.
The old
Pfizer.
Mr. Pfizer comments.
Mr.
Did you see him get
Pfizer.
triggered on Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
After Kelsey made his comments?
Yeah.
I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Aaron's the only one who looks bad in that situation.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
Kelsey was laughing
he doesn't
it off.
care.
Right.
He was like,
He's
Mr.
just
Pfizer,
getting-
it's pretty
he's
good with my
making money.
mustache. I look like a guy who'd be called Mr. Pfizer.
I mean,
And then he said, I didn't think I'd be in a vax war with Aaron Rodgers, and then that's when Aaron Rodgers lost his cool.
Yeah,
Right.
called him Mr. Pfizer, and Kelsey was like, "You know what? That name is awesome.
That's a great
I
name.
like being called
Which I
Mr.
think slightly
Pfizer.
upset Aaron.
That sounds cool."
I'm sure they won't, but I would love to see him debate it.
Yeah. Kelsey, what's he gonna do? He's just gonna be like, I got money. What do you want me to do?
Right.
They paid me
It's got
$20 million. bud.
Right.
I don't care about it.
I got the shot.
trying
They
to make
paid me
some
$20
money.
million. Just trying to make some money.
Said, hey, we'll pay you a lot of money if you get a shot. He's like, okay.
I don't know if you know, but Taylor's expensive to take out.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right? But that's all I got. That's all I wrote down.
So I wrote down.
But I think
Papers.
we're already starting better than we usually do.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of laughs, a lot of animals
Laughs are good.
talking,
I like laughs.
dad jokes. Now we can get into football, I
I
guess.
feel like we need a dad joke segment, though.
Yeah.
So I'll come ready
We
with
should
dad jokes.
Every time.
Every time someone have a dad joke prepared.
Just be ready.
Who doesn't like dad jokes? Do you dislike
I
dad
don't
jokes?
dislike
Do you
dad jokes.
dislike dad jokes?
Fine by me.
All right, fine by me.
There you go.
Looks like it's a segment.
It's a new sport.
There you go.
It's a new sport. Yeah. We're starting the sport here on another podcast.
Live, right here on another podcast. We've started another sport.
Still working out the rules, but
Did
Yeah,
you
it's fine,
guys
whatever.
see my trade?
trade.
our league
Oh
today?
yeah, I did see your trade. I thought you definitely won that trade.
Well, I mean,
Remind me of the trade again.
I got Saquon Barkley and Chris Godwin, and then I sent Nico Collins, Gus Edwards, and Laporta.
That's right.
But all 3 of those players are under $2.
Yeah.
And Brad was 1 and 5.
Yeah, Brad won't keep all 3, though.
That's
So
the problem with only
maybe-
having 4 keepers.
Maybe he was just trying to stay relevant somewhat. That's why he threw in. I
Godwin
don't know why he
Godwin
wanted
was
Gus.
really only $2?
No. Godwin's like 26.
The guys
I'm
that
saying
Brad
the guys
got
that
were
I sent
$2.
Brad.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Laporta was $2.
Gotcha.
Nico Collins was $2.
Gotcha.
And Gus Edwards was 1. And Gus Edwards is not going to be a keeper of his. I think he just wanted to have a running back and try to stay relevant while sending his best piece.
He probably didn't care about Gus Edwards at all, really.
I mean, he
I think
just,
he's focused on keepers.
I didn't
don't think
send that
he's
to him.
cared-
He sent that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
He just probably figured it's a good throw in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use them, so I was like, sure, take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, I thought that was a good trade for you.
That's good.
In our league, anyone listening, we do keepers based off their salary. So that's why it's important that they're $2 because you get them for that for next year.
Right.
We don't. We
It's
do
not
half.
just choose to keep
yeah.
them and you keep them.
We do half
About
redraft,
success.
half keeper, based off their salary. And most people like it. Some people call it pussy.
There's some people who
Pussy play.
don't like
Pussy league. Yeah. We won't name any names,
Right.
but there is this one guy
it. Yeah.
who doesn't like it very much.
His name doesn't rhyme with Brody.
Yeah.
All right.
And it starts with a C.
It starts with a C. Take out the beer and just put a C there.
Yeah.
Solve the mysteries.
Mystery solved. Oh man.
This week I made a parlay where I pick a game every single game on the week.
How many games do you pick? All of them?
I pick all of them. And I lost on 2. Well, actually, I picked the Chargers. They lost 2. But before we got to the Chargers game, I only lost 2 games. You want to guess which ones they were?
Which ones you got wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I can just tell you that they were undefeated before this last week.
So the 49ers?
The 2 he probably felt like locks. The 2 he blindly just
The 2
picked at the
undefeated
beginning.
teams in the
Thinking he had
NFL
it.
were the only 2 teams that I lost on this
How
parlay.
did you not see that coming?
I don't know. I should have bet against it.
Should have been ready.
Clearly, the 49ers were going to beat the Browns. And clearly, the Jets
And the
are
Browns,
better than
and
the
the Browns
Eagles.
had PJ Walker.
Yeah. God. The 49ers, they lost by a field goal.
The 49ers were
That
pretty
they
bad.
missed.
That
They
they
had-
I
missed
actually watched a decent
at
amount
the
of that
very
game.
end of it. So it was like locked, and then they
Yeah,
missed
they
a
should have
field
won,
goal.
actually.
And then you had the rare Jalen.
And then
3 interceptions.
how the Eagles lost was Hurts threw a rare interception.
He
that
threw
they
3
took
interceptions.
all the way to the red zone. It was painful. I thought I was going to make a lot of money, and then
No, you didn't. How much would you have made if you got them all right?
So it was a $5 bet, and I was going to make like $4,000.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Problem is
great.
It only takes one.
It only takes one, but I'm like right, not always, but I'm often like right there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never won a parlay. I like a big one.
That's
I've won
what-
like some 3-leg ones.
Little
Yeah,
three-legged.
That's why they keep offering them to you.
I know. I keep giving him $5 a week. He's back. He thinks he's gonna make $4,000, but he's not.
How much should we offer him? It doesn't matter. He's not going to win.
It doesn't matter.
$1 million. We're gonna get his $5.
Him and all these other idiots who keep betting on these parlays. And yes, Sleeper, we will be doing it again this week.
Yeah. And Josiah's gonna join us.
Yep.
We can finally sports bet in Oklahoma base. Is what it feels like. The closest thing we can get.
So
to.
how does that work on Sleeper?
Well, per them, it's considered a daily fantasy game.
But you can win money.
Yes, but you
I mean, they consider it like DraftKings because you can't bet.
Yeah, but-
you can't bet. on
Okay, I
games.
see, I see.
They don't do the same.
all money lines are out.
no, yeah, no money lines.
And if you
They're
say you took a QB's receiving yard or passing yards, then you can take none of his receivers' receiving yards.
How does it make sense that you can do like these player prop bets, but you can't bet on games?
I don't know. I don't know, but it's a loophole. It's
a great question.
We're allowed to do it.
We were confused.
and that's all that matters.
Immediately, as Jared and I were doing it, we're like, "There's no way this should be."
I was like,
okay.
why am I allowed
right?
to do this?
Right.
I hope they don't figure it out. But
But
it's
apparently,
great.
there's several websites that do it.
Yeah, there's
So
like
Sleeper, Prize Picks, is
Prize
this way.
Picks,
Underdog.
Underdog.
I mean,
yeah.
pretty
Just
smart for
better.
Sleeper to put it into their platform. And do
It
that.
is.
Yeah.
I have spent way more time on that app this week
I bet, yeah.
because of, and their interface for it is fun
I like
and
Sleeper.
good. I mean,
I checked out a couple of the others, and I think it's my favorite interface.
Yeah.
Of the interfaces, and you get a lot more information about the players. In the Sleeper.
Yeah.
Way
you
better
do.
information.
And yes, Sleeper, we are accepting sponsorships.
Yes. We're going to put a promo code in the description if you want to try out Sleeper, and I'll get $25.
What's your promo code going to be?
RE, I'm Red Ryan.
Actually,
I'm taking
Red
off.
Ryan.
I'm taking them all.
Actually, we'll put 3 different ones at the bottom. You choose. We'll give you no names.
Sure.
As to who's the
I'll do
who.
that. I'll do that.
We'll
And
let
it
you
will-
choose the
We'll
promo
let
code.
you choose the
You
referral
choose
code.
who you want to give $25 to, and you get to double your deposit. So pick one of us, but pick this one.
Right.
Because I lost every one I've made so far, and so is this guy. He hasn't made one, so he's got a clear record.
Facts.
Until I lose.
Until you lose.
I had 2 this weekend that I was 1 pick away from.
Yeah, I had a few that I was.
One
very-
last night in particular.
I had a few that I was,
Eckler did not get the rushing yards.
He didn't.
It was disappointing.
he did not, but I had a few as well that got very close, and then it just.
And
it-
how did I
it
not
worked
take
out.
Justin Herbert on the over 0.5 receptions?
Was that an option?
No, it was not.
That'd have been awesome.
I wish it had been.
It
And
would-
then I
Surely
took it.
it would have been good odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to
would've
be
been
like
great
100 to
odds.
1 if
Yeah.
that was a legit
Right.
one.
Especially if it was a pass to himself.
Right.
Yeah.
I threw it to myself.
But one thing I wanted to bring up, I know you guys probably didn't watch it. Excuse me. One more. KSI and Tommy Fury fought this past week,
I
Who
did not
won?
watch it,
I didn't watch it, but
And
but
then,
I heard
curious.
that there was.
and then Logan
Shenanigans
Paul
and
and Dylan Dennis fought this past
Right.
week.
Who won?
I was
Uh,
more intrigued by the Logan Paul Dylan Dennis pre-show fight in which
That's-
microphones were thrown.
That's you should be.
Yeah.
Because
I
that
enjoy
was
a good.
that
I
was
enjoy
more
a good-
entertaining than
I
the fight.
enjoy a
The
good
fight
mic
wasn't good?
The fight. So Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis's fight was the most entertaining out of the two, because Dylan Dennis only hit Logan Paul 9 times throughout the entire fight.
I
Really?
don't feel like Logan was super technically sound. I feel like it was
He-
haymakers being thrown.
It was
by
a
him
lot of
constantly.
haymakers. It probably wasn't the most, like technically great boxing, but I mean he beat the crap out of Dylan
Oh,
Dennis.
yeah. There was a lot of
And
rage.
He
behind
was
those
the
Logan
he was the clear winner of
Yes.
that fight.
Oh yeah.
KSI and Tommy Fury won, but it was literally like one of the worst fights I've ever seen
Really?
in my life. It was 90% hugging and 10% boxing, and at the end, KSI called it a robbery, which I don't see why, unless he thought it was a hugging contest, because
Maybe he was confused.
definitely was
Then
the
he
better
had an
hugger.
argument.
He was probably confused.
He was the best hugger of that match, but it was literally 90% hugging.
No wonder he was shocked when he found out he lost.
Yeah. He called it a robbery,
But
and
I
he's
loved
appealing.
him so much.
It was a robbery for the people watching, because it was just terrible.
Yeah.
Literally just awful.
I really want to watch
People's
the Francis
pay-per-view
Ngannou and Fury fight, Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah, I do too. I want to see that.
That should be good.
Yeah.
I'd watch that one. And then Jake Paul is fighting again on December 15th. So
Who's he fighting?
don't know yet. They just set a date. There's no.
Oh, he doesn't even have anybody yet. He's
no,
still
he
trying
just
to
set a
find
date.
somebody.
Yep.
Are
For
we fighting a
December
real
15th.
boxer?
I hope he fights.
Which I consider Tommy a real boxer. So
Yeah, I hope he
a real
fights
boxer.
Tommy or KSI. I hope that's one
Well,
of
you
the
just
ones.
said the KSI fight was boring.
Yeah, but KSI keeps talking about how much better he is than Jake Paul, and like he just everything,
At hugging.
all his value is tied into people thinking he's better than Jake Paul.
That's how boxers are. They
I
have
know,
to be.
and so it's hooked me. I want to see that fight happen, KSI and Jake Paul, and then I also want to
Yeah,
see.
I'd watch it.
I want to see Jake.
I mean, Jake
Paul,
Paul's fun to watch box, I think, anyways.
Yeah, I think he is too, and I want to see Jake Paul try to beat Tommy Fury again. So I
Yeah,
hope it's
because
one
it
of
was a
those.
good fight.
It was a good fight. I was sad nobody got knocked out. I mean, Tommy did get knocked down,
Yeah.
but nobody got knocked out. There's been a lot of fights with no knockouts, and
That's how most fights are, really.
I know
Those boxing matches are.
that
Knockouts are kind of rare, really.
Tyron
unfortunately.
Woodley knockout really spoiled me whenever we were all together at Josiah's house.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
It was that was a great.
It came out of nowhere.
came out of nowhere. It looked like Jake was losing,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden
Woodley's random
lights
just
out.
decides to drop his
Yeah.
glove and just take one to the
Yeah.
take one to the jaw.
lights out.
That guy.
Who's the best wide receiver in football?
I'd say. I can tell you an easy top 3 for me is,
Sure.
is Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Tyreek Hill.
That
I would
makes
say Tyreek's
sense.
the most explosive of the 3.
He's already hit 1,000 receiving yards, and it's only week 6.
Yeah.
I would say Hill and Chase are definitely 1 and 2 for me. I mean,
Oh yeah, Chase is up there too.
I just leave out Jefferson because he's hurt, but when he's healthy,
Right.
I think Jefferson's the best, really.
Yeah.
Give me your OKC Thunder predictions for the season.
We are going to make the playoffs and lose.
Like what seed?
We're going to make it to the second round.
No,
Think it'll be like a top 4 seed?
No.
I don't think a top 4 seed, but I think they're not in the play-in game. I think they're between the top 4 seeds and the play-in game.
I bet that it could be a top 4 seed. I mean, if they stay healthy, which is hard to predict. But
Yeah. I don't know. They got to be good to get me back really into it. I'm still a huge Thunder fan, but I have not been
think they're
watching.
gonna be very
I think
I
Holmgren's
have
going
not
to be
been
really
watching
good,
this.
and I think him with SGA is going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, if it
Not to
is,
mention you got J-Dub
then I'll
Yep.
on
watch.
there, who's also fantastic.
I mean,
And Isaiah Joe just stroking
Just make threes.
from the corner.
That's all we need from him.
With Josh Giddey just throwing dimes.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
I think
if
they
that
could be a
happens-
good team, really. If they can stay healthy, I think they could be fun to watch.
well, if they are, then we'll watch them together. I can get back into it, but
Yeah.
I've lost some interest over the years.
Well, they've been pretty bad for a while.
I mean, overall.
Speaking of the Thunder, though, did you see that Presti made another trade today?
No, what was it?
Well, today they got, Porter Jr. from Houston, but immediately released him because they also got 2 second-round picks in the deal.
Oh, really?
2026 and 2027. So they're now up to like 16 first-round picks and 22 second-round picks over like the next 7
Wow.
seasons.
Oh, my
or
gosh.
whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we'll be good soon-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they'll be good this year, and there's no reason to think that they won't continue to get better.
And
Yeah.
Presti keeps cooking. He's like,
Yeah.
Presti is still the dude.
I'll just keep trading for 8th graders. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Okay? It's not a big deal. Don't worry
He's
about
going to
Not a
grade
problem.
school games for scouting right now.
it. No one goes as deep as Sam Presti.
All right, you want to go through the slate?
Sure.
Go through straight. So,
So we're gonna build. Are we gonna build a lineup on Sleeper? Is that what we're gonna do?
No, we don't have those numbers out yet, but I think we can go through the games. We can talk about how we feel the games might go.
Yeah, I
And
like
get
that.
an early
This is
idea
great.
of who we might like.
This is great because I always build a money line parlay where I bet on every single
Right,
game.
so let's work through that, and we can also talk how we think the games are going to go, and then we
And
might
I'll-
know what players we
like.
kind of want to target based on
Yeah.
the numbers.
I will watch this episode back and build a parlay that will maybe finally hit,
Nice.
as long as my phone has a connection.
Yep. Mine's doing a good spinny thing right now.
All right, then Max has it, so we'll just.
I
let
got it. I
Max
already
do
got it. I started it about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, he was
Perfect.
ready.
Waiting for the
He was
news.
ready.
I was ready.
Just
Came
enough
ready for it,
time.
Okay. So Thursday night, kicking us off on Thursday Night Football this week, we've got the Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. Currently, New Orleans is favored by 1 point, and I don't know what the over/under is just just yet, but I'll try to find it here in a minute. But yeah, so currently,
Jacksonville wins that one.
I think Jacksonville wins.
Yeah.
New Orleans doesn't look very good.
assuming has
No.
anybody checked in on what's the status of
Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence and his knee?
I don't know. I know yesterday they didn't practice, but they projected him as a non-participant. But also, I've been hearing that they don't think it's a very serious.
If he
injury by
plays,
any
they
means.
win. If he doesn't, then
Yeah,
One thing that concerns me is
obviously,
with it
if he
being
doesn't
Thursday night
play, I
football.
wouldn't expect him to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah,
But
the only thing that concerns me is with it being Thursday Night Football. It's
Yeah.
a short week. Maybe
Right.
he
it's
doesn't
tomorrow.
play.
But from what I saw from that injury, I would be surprised if he missed.
Right.
It didn't look too bad. It was also late in the game, and I think it was just pretty precautionary. They were winning by like 20 points.
what's
Yeah.
the next one?
They're blowing them out. But yeah, I would also say Jags. in that
Jags,
game.
yeah.
And then we see for our first of the noon slate, we've got Browns at Colts. Cleveland's currently favored by 2. I think Deshaun Watson's supposed to be back.
I actually thought that P.J. Walker was about the same caliber of talent as Deshaun Watson was. Is.
No, did you watch the game? PJ
I
Walker
did.
looked super bad.
They beat the 49ers.
That wasn't because PJ Walker was
That
good.
is because that Cleveland defense is elite.
Yes,
PJ
the
Walker
Cleveland-
had 2
but
interceptions and a fumble.
you
no
still have to have
touchdowns.
some kind of offense to. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched the last stretch, and he looked good in the last stretch.
Well, they went down and scored some points, but also they just gave the ball to Ford several times, and he gained a bunch of yards. It's not like PJ
That's
Walker
great.
looked
Kareem
good.
also
great for
ran
me.
very well.
And Kareem Hunt was pretty good.
Kareem snap count went up compared to the.
Yeah, he had a
I would
touchdown.
still say Cleveland wins this game. I mean, Cleveland looks like a good team regardless.
Who was it? It was
but-
Cleveland and who?
Cleveland the Colts.
So that's Gardner Minshew
I
against
think
Cleveland.
that Colts offense is about to get lit up by that Cleveland defense.
You guys think Richardson's going to go on a season-ending IR?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I think so.
And I think it's the smart move. I think you play it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think the Colts are going to win that?
No, I think the Browns are going to
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Browns are gonna
I may
as
have
well.
misspoke and said the Colts.
Do you
but I
think
the Browns are gonna
Jonathan Taylor will be relevant at all?
Not really. No.
Not in this one, but
No.
I think this season, yes.
Cleveland is a tough defense.
I think
Yeah.
this season.
Oh,
yes.
I agree at some point. I just
But
hard to figure out when.
This is not the week, but it does trending. It's trending the way that his snap count is going.
Oh
up
yeah,
each week,
and that
so,
was to be expected.
yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
I
he's
do
probably a
think-
few more weeks away until he's maybe back to normal Jonathan
Right.
Taylor.
I do think it's at the benefit to him that Richardson's not there because I think they'd be more willing to do a little bit of running with Richardson too.
I don't know. I was really curious to see how they would look with Richardson and Jonathan Taylor because they could have
Yeah.
opened up a lot of lanes for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong there.
I'm
either.
sure we'll see him next year. So
Next one.
So, and then we've got Bills at Patriots. Bills are currently
Bills.
favored by 8.5.
if the
Bills,
Patriots win this
easy.
game, I'll be so shocked. I don't
Yeah.
even know what to
Yeah.
do.
The odds on this one's got to be like 10-1.
Yeah.
10-1
If
for
it
New
keeps going
England.
this way with the Pats, does Bill get fired?
Also,
You know,
Bill get
I've
cut? Or
heard
does Bill-
whispers.
I don't think he gets fired, but does he get asked to step aside?
yeah, that's what would happen. That's what would happen. Honestly,
I don't think Kraft would outright fire him.
how much longer does he want to coach if he's struggling this much? You know, he's been in the league for a long time, had a ton of success,
Does Bill Belichick,
and he could just be like, "I'm done."
does he realize now that most or maybe half of his success was because of Tom Brady? Do you think he's starting to think
I'm
that?
sure he has those thoughts in his mind, but I don't think he believes them.
Yeah. I still think he's good. And, you know,
I do too.
you got to have the right players to be good.
Yeah, they
Well,
are.
I think
They
the
don't have
Patriot-
talent on that
I
team.
They
think
don't
it was
have
a-
any.
It was a combination of the two. The Patriot way was just as much Belichick as it was Brady.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But his old approach is not going to work now, where he's like, I'll just take late round guys and I'll form them into something, right? You
Yeah.
got to get some talent.
Yeah, they
And
got.
they don't take that approach.
They don't have good talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. How much
None.
longer
None.
do they keep throwing Mac Jones out there?
I think they're.
Did you see the
Not much
interception
longer.
from him this week? Where
I
the
think
blatant
so. I
miss
think I
of
saw
Hunter
it.
Henry running to his right
Yeah,
and
yes.
overthrows him and just dead into the chest of the
He-
Raiders defender.
He just looks really bad all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's not like there's flashes of being good, but then he sucks. It's just always bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how much longer do you let that go?
Yeah.
I think this week they're already making adjustments. I mean, I had a sleeper pick Cunningham on my lineup on sleeper.
Yeah, he didn't do anything though.
He hasn't done anything, but as soon as I dropped him, they announced that he's the new backup.
He is the new
And it
backup.
looks like Zappy's going to be a starter this week.
Oh, really? Where'd you hear that?
I read it on one of the sports places.
Well, the problem is Zappy sucks too.
Yeah, he does.
The problem is they don't have good quarterbacks.
they don't
Yeah.
they don't have good.
I'd
anything.
rather them put Cunningham out there. At least
Right.
we don't know for sure what he could
Yeah.
do. Maybe he could be good.
Yeah.
That's what it's looking like.
They just signed Cunningham to a 3-year deal, so
I
they like
know.
him for some reason.
I know, and that sucks because that happened the day after I dropped him.
Really?
Yes, literally the day after I dropped him. I was like, he's third string. I'm not gonna. I need a spot. I'll just drop him.
But I don't know how they're going to use him because in practice, he usually practices as a wide receiver.
I don't know. It's crazy.
And so, and
Maybe-
then now
maybe
they've been like doing weird plays where they snap him the ball and he passes sometimes, or they do.
Bill likes
plays.
football players.
Yeah.
He's versatile football.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. He's a football player, and yeah, Belichick probably liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bill's that one for sure.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
The next one I think is a little interesting based off how well the Giants defense played last week. But Commanders at Giants.
I think Commanders.
Yeah, Washington. I don't think the Giants look very good right now,
Do you know
especially
they-
on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they're the most pass-heavy team in the NFL right now.
That's because they're always losing.
I mean, there's a lot of teams always losing. They just, but I mean, I
they're always
didn't even,
down by a lot though.
I didn't realize that. I didn't even.
They're always getting their tail kicked.
Yeah, they're always
It
getting their tail
hasn't
kicked.
resulted in any good quarterback play.
Except for this past
I
week.
mean,
where they-
Howell's not been bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Washington. I thought you meant the Giants.
No. Washington is the most pass-heavy
Oh
team.
yeah,
in
Washington's
the
been
NFL.
throwing the ball a lot.
Yeah, they've been throwing lots. I also thought you were talking about the Giants.
It's Washington, guys.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Washington.
yeah, they haven't been running the ball very much.
Mm-mm.
Maybe they just don't trust their running backs much. I don't know.
Yeah, which is Howell looks pretty good.
He looks
I
pretty
wasn't-
good. He looks
I
pretty
wasn't-
average, I should say. He looks pretty average.
We talked about doing a trade on that week where he had 3 points. Like he wanted Laporta, I needed a quarterback, and I just shut it down because I wasn't interested in.
You should have done it.
Now I wish I would have.
Well, would you have rather done
Pursued it
that?
a little
Because
bit.
if you would have done that, you wouldn't have got Barkley and Godwin. Which one would you rather have?
I think Barkley because Matthew Stafford.
I think I agree that getting Barkley and Godwin's better.
Yeah.
Than getting Howell.
So I'm glad with what I have now. I was sad to see Nico Collins go because I've always been a fan of his. and,
Yeah.
Very pro Nico. Since
And
he
now
came
he's
out.
gone for $2.
Yeah,
It
Nico
probably
looks really
means he's Probably gone for a while because he's going to keep him
Well,
most
those,
likely.
CJ's making those, and I'm sure it's some to their own accord too. But those Houston receivers are looking
pretty good.
Pretty
C.J.
decent.
Stroud looks really, really
Between-
good.
He does.
Between,
Yep.
Nico
He
Collins
threw his first
and,
interception
Tank
of his
Dell.
career last week.
I know. I saw it.
Oh, I did not see that he threw his first
Yep.
one. Was it a bad one? Was it tipped or was it blatant?
I didn't see it. I just
Bad
saw in the
pass
box
by
score
him.
it was his first one.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the pass though.
But they look good. They're moving the ball.
So Washington on that one.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
we're
I'll
all
probably take Washington on that one as well. The next one's also interesting. Lions at Ravens.
I think the Lions are going to win.
It's at Baltimore.
I still think the
I'll say
Lions
that.
are going to win.
No David
Being
Montgomery.
at Baltimore really changes a lot. I might go Baltimore, but overall, I think probably the Lions is a better team.
Yeah.
But I think probably
But
Baltimore
no David
could win this
Montgomery
game.
and
Yeah,
potentially no Jameer Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs also hasn't been.
I've been hearing he's
Yeah.
probably going to play this week.
Probably
Yeah,
gonna play.
I'm
it's looking
sure that's
like
not
he
certain.
I mean, I hope
will.
so. I have him in
Yeah,
several
yeah.
fantasy spots.
And with
Yeah.
Montgomery out, he's in a good spot.
yeah, and he's
Great
in a really good
spot.
spot. So I hope
Even
he
though
plays.
Baltimore's like, not the easiest run defense
Right.
to go against, but
But
I
Baltimore
just-
at home is always good. Baltimore's a
they
tough
play,
team
I
to
feel
play
like
at
they
home.
play significantly.
their
better.
offense just doesn't look like it's bad. I mean, they look bad.
They just
basically.
need a running game. They need a running back that can be threatening, and it would open up a lot more for them.
Yeah. I mean, they've been using
It's
Gus
what they've been
Edwards
hoping the JK would be.
And he is. He just can't stay healthy.
literally
That's a
every
big problem.
year.
It's a big
He,
factor.
Yep.
he breaks something and he's out for the
Yeah.
season at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just going to be his career, I think.
That sucks.
Yeah. Feel for the guy.
Yeah, I liked him coming out of college too.
Lions. I think Lions, heavy Lions. I think that this is a spot where Baltimore loses. Even though they're at home, I just think their offense is bad, and the Lions' offense is really good.
I'm gonna differ from you on this one. I'm actually gonna say the Ravens get them, but it's a close game.
Yeah, that's going to be
Sweet.
a good game.
We'll
That'll be a
have
fun
it-
game
I think
to
it'll be a
watch.
good football game. I think it's gonna be the second best football game of the week, but first one's
Should be fun to watch.
first one's on Sunday Night Football.
Was that Chiefs?
But we're not there yet.
What's the next
Slow
one?
down. We're working through the noon games, buddy. All right. Next up, we have Raiders at Bears. The matchup everyone's been waiting for.
Raiders.
Raiders at
But
Bears.
no Garoppolo.
No Garoppolo.
No Garoppolo,
and
no
maybe
Fields.
Not Fields.
And no Fields, probably.
It's just it's a shit show. Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not gonna be good.
The Raiders are going to win.
I think Raiders. though.
Raiders are gonna win. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. I think the Brian Hoyer led.
I wouldn't be
Raiders,
surprised if the Bears don't score any points at all.
They scored points with their backup last week.
I still wouldn't be surprised if they scored no points.
There were some times that I actually felt like he was doing a decent job, and then there were sometimes like he had no chance.
Yeah.
Like on that fumble,
Yeah.
they're in the backfield before he can do anything.
Their offensive line's so bad. I mean, I feel bad for anybody that has to play quarterback on that team
Yeah,
right now.
it doesn't matter if you're good. I mean, you'd have to be like Patrick Mahomes or
Yeah.
old Russell Wilson.
I'm
to
sure Mahomes wouldn't
do
look too
anything.
good behind the Bears line right now.
And be running
He's
for his life.
pretty, he's
Right.
pretty nimble. I mean, he's,
Well, not as nimble as Fields, and Fields ain't good.
I don't know. But I don't know who to pick. Not
I'm
the
a-
Bears.
I'm gonna say Raiders.
Yeah, probably the
Raiders are
Raiders.
favored
Raiders.
currently at
Yeah.
-3.
I'd
on
pick
that one.
Raiders.
Yep. Falcons Bucks. Bucks are favored by 2.5.
Falcons, Bucks.
I think this will be a good game. too. I
think-
think it'll be a close one. I think the Bucks give me that vibe that they're going to be in most games that they play in this year.
I think I'd actually go Atlanta on this
I
one.
might go Atlanta too. I feel like Atlanta's been improving a little every week.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta.
Ritter
I think
is
Atlanta wins the
actually-
game, but I think
Ritter's
it'll be a
been
close
getting
game.
better every week.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I thought he'd be like a one and done.
And they have pretty good offensive weapons, so as long as Ritter
Yeah.
can be average, I mean, they'll be able to compete.
I feel like you and I
Yeah.
have talked about that before. Like they have very good weapons.
Yeah, I
Between-
mean,
between
Pitts and London and Robinson is
Robinson,
is a-
even Jonnu Smith.
even
is their
Jonnu
number
Smith
2.
looks good, yeah.
Tight ends look
Yeah.
good.
they got options for sure.
Yeah,
I think it might be them. Atlanta.
yeah. I like Atlanta in that one, but I think it'll be close
Yeah.
That should be a good
because the
game for
Buccaneers
sure.
haven't looked terrible either.
No, they haven't. Baker
Right.
Mayfield's looked
Right.
better this year too.
Yeah. So I like how much he's getting the ball to Mike.
Buccaneers didn't look very good last week, though, did they?
They didn't look great last week.
Yeah,
against
but
Detroit.
that was their first week of not looking good, so I don't know
Right.
if that was a fluke or what. But
right.
yeah, I would still probably
It's the
lean
cream
towards
still
Atlanta.
uniforms. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Those bad uniforms.
They were only a bad team. Man. Why do you want to honor a
Right.
team that was notoriously
Yeah,
terrible
right.
in those creamsicle uniforms? Things were abysmal.
I just couldn't stop thinking that they were Tennessee.
Yeah, no, it's bad. They're just bad. They're just bad uniforms. Just awful. Let's see. Okay, then we get into the late afternoon slate where we get to Steelers at Rams.
Rams.
Rams
The
are
Steelers
favored
are
by
super
3.
bad.
Yeah, Steelers are very bad.
I think so.
What happened to Najee Harris?
He is bad. I think he was bad from the start.
He had a
just
great year
better-
his rookie year.
He had a better offensive line. I remember being disappointed by. I mean, I'm sure my expectations were too high. I just remember being disappointed by Najee Harris on his rookie season, and then it just went quickly.
He was like
downhill
a top
past
6
him.
running back.
I don't
He
think
had a
so.
super great rookie year. He had like
He did.
1,500
Their line
rushing
was-
yards, a
and-
bunch of touchdowns.
And their O-line was better.
That's what I'm
Their
saying.
O-line
For sure.
Is like
For
their
sure.
O-line was.
The O-line has struggled, and
Helton.
that I think is a big part of it, but also the coming up with Jalen Warren, because Jalen Warren looks pretty well.
He
pretty
looks
good in their team.
like
He's
better
playing well.
better for their system.
Yeah.
For their
So.
scheme. Warren does than
Yeah.
Harris.
I don't know. I just don't see I just don't see the same. I don't see the same burst.
Harris
from
looks.
Najee.
He doesn't look like the same guy.
Yeah.
I know the line is worse, but Harris looks worse.
I don't see the same burst.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'd say Rams on that one. But if
Yeah.
there was a bet for a TJ Watt over 0.5 sacks,
You're taking the over.
I would take the
Yeah,
over on that,
for
because
sure.
I feel like Matt Stafford is a lock to get sacked
Yeah, he gets sacked every week almost,
every single time.
if not every week, every time.
Yeah.
Although the
That,
Rams have like no running backs.
No, they don't. They just signed
That's right, they don't
Gaskins.
have to- yeah.
They just signed Gaskins to
Old
their.
Miles Gaskins.
They also
Yeah.
have Royce Freeman.
They have Royce Freeman,
No.
They got a bunch of nobodies.
which sucks. I just traded for Williams and his handcuff Rivers,
Yeah.
and they're both injured.
Yeah.
So now for me to get a handcuff, I gotta hope they're on the waiver wire or try to do another trade.
Truly-
Really, I just need Gibbs to come back this week. and
Truly
I'm fine.
unfortunate.
That
Yeah.
was just awful.
Not ideal. Not an ideal situation.
Really bad timing for me.
Yeah.
What's the next game?
Next game, we've got Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks currently favored by 8.
Cardinals, Seahawks.
Yeah, Seattle for me.
Yeah, I'd probably go.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
That's Seattle.
Geno Smith hasn't looked as good as last year. Do
He
you
does
agree?
not look like the shock and awe Geno Smith of last
I
season.
think he kind of just caught everyone off guard last year. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to be as good this year.
Yeah.
Maybe he just got really lucky 17 times in a row
Yeah.
last season.
I think he caught people off guard at the beginning of the year, and then he built up momentum for himself and
Yeah.
did pretty good second half of the year. But
We'll see. He's got the weapons, so there's kind of no,
He does.
no
for sure,
excuses
but he hasn't been taking
outside
advantage
himself.
of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really
He's
good receiving
looked-
core. It's a good running
Yeah.
back.
Not good.
Oh yeah,
So,
two good running backs.
But I'd still pick Seattle over Arizona on that game.
yeah.
yeah, they're
I
just a
think
better
Seattle.
team.
Yeah. And then for the last late afternoon game, we've got the matchup everybody's looking forward to:
This is Chiefs.
Packers at Broncos.
Packers and Broncos.
Packers and Broncos. I'm going to take the Packers because
Yeah, I
the
guess
Broncos are
I guess
terrible.
Packers. The Broncos are just too bad.
Packers.
Sean Payton made no difference in our terribleness.
What is the problem with Denver that makes everyone so bad?
I don't know.
There's something. I don't know what it is.
It's got to be something.
Maybe it's Elway.
Peyton Manning took
The
all the skill.
altitude, maybe. I don't know.
Altitude.
Not enough airflow to the brain.
Peyton Manning was like, I'm going to retire,
Not enough air,
guys.
not
And I'm
enough
taking
oxygen.
all the skill with me.
Yeah.
We're never going to be good again.
Never again.
Literally, every
Demarius
quarterback.
will retire shortly after me.
Every
as well.
year they go make a bunch of moves and get good players, and then the good players
then they're
just turn bad.
And then they went and got a good coach, and they're still bad.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, like, at some point, you know, you pick your favorite team when your state doesn't have a team.
Yeah.
And at some point, you just got to be like, well,
Picking a new team.
I'm done.
I'm just gonna pretend like I never
We had
liked
10
him.
good years, Broncos. I'm done. We're good now. You guys do your thing.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to care about it anymore.
Not anymore. Man, oh, man. Okay, then another game. Yes, Chargers at Chiefs now. Chiefs currently favored at 5.5. Don't do it.
I kind of feel the Chargers a little bit.
Bro. Chiefs get 6-1 here.
I'd probably say Chiefs win. I mean, Chargers haven't.
Chargers will play them close because it's always close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
gonna
what
be a
I'm
fun
saying.
game.
It's
That's
always
always
a
a
fun
fun
game.
game to watch.
It's always close.
I wonder what the record is.
Herbert and Mahomes
Don't
are
try to
always
look it
gonna
up
be fun to
'cause
watch.
we'll lose that. But
You talking about the all-time record
yeah,
between the
no,
Chargers and
just
Chiefs?
Herbert versus Mahomes. I wonder what that record is.
Mahomes has won a lot more.
I'm sure he has, but
I think Herbert's
I think Herbert's only
invested-
won one
I think
time.
only one time.
One
He's only
time.
invested
So
Yeah.
it's
one
like
time.
maybe 1-5 or something.
Pat, in his career, and don't quote me on this, but I think his record in the AFC West since he's been the starter is like 26-5 or something.
Yeah, it's pretty
like
good.
that.
All right, I'll probably go Chiefs just to play it safe because I got to win the parlay, and if I go
Plus,
Chargers.
Chiefs defense is causing people problems.
Actually, yeah, Chiefs defense has improved a lot.
Yeah, their defense has looked better.
And frankly, the one that always seems to hurt the Chiefs the most is Mike Williams, and there is no Mike Williams.
There is no Mike Williams. They have
That's true. He's had some
Joshua
good games
Palmer,
against the Chiefs in the past.
Quentin Johnson, who has done nothing. He's basically not there.
Right.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
Keenan
Josh
Allen.
Palmer
Allen's
got a
really
lot of
good.
run last night, though.
Yep.
Josh Palmer got a lot of run last night.
he did. He looked pretty good.
So
He got a lot of opportunities.
They need to get Eckler going in the screen game.
Yep.
Game again. For him, and then outside of that, I'd probably just be feeding the ball to Keenan as much as you can.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. All right, Chiefs it is.
And then, let's see, then Sunday Night Football, which I think will be the best game of the week, is Dolphins at Eagles.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be a great game.
Yep.
I'm going to go Miami.
So you think the Eagles drop 2 in a row?
Yep.
I'm going to say the Eagles hand the Dolphins a loss here.
I'm going to say Philadelphia. I think they're going to be playing with a bit of a vengeance after last week's loss.
And it's going to lead to another
I think the
interception.
Eagles are going to be very motivated in this one.
Yep. Motivated, but not
Very,
quite
very
motivated.
If it was
enough.
in Miami, I maybe lean Miami here. But I think with it being in Philly, I'm going to lean Philly on this one.
I'm going to stick to my guns. Miami wins this one.
So,
That's what's going to happen.
okay.
I'm going to watch that game. It's Sunday night.
Well,
I always
Sunday
get to
Night
watch the
Football.
Sunday
The
night
nation
game.
will be watching.
Huh?
The nation will be watching. That one will get its own. That one will get a parlay specific to itself. That'll
Oh,
be a
yeah.
single
Yeah,
game
right.
parlay
Yeah. I'm definitely doing it.
on that one.
'Cause I'm gonna be
But
watching.
whatever Tyreek Hill's yardage number is, I'm taking the over. I'll just tell you that. Right now.
Over 120 yards.
Could be 120 yards.
I'll take it.
Taking it.
Sold.
Yeah, sold on that.
What's the Monday game?
The Monday night game is it's Niners at Vikings.
Niners at Vikings.
And
That could be
which-
a good game.
Yeah. To watch the Vikings die a painful death.
I bet the Vikings win.
Think so? Is this
Really?
the one? Is this the one the Vikings
Yeah,
win?
49ers have got serious injury problems right now.
Oh.
That's fair. Vikings are down their best player.
They just lost.
too, though.
They just lost last week.
They just lost. They didn't have Debo.
They did,
and
but
and then,
Minnesota's defense is not Cleveland's defense.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
But all their good players are hurt.
Well, I read
They got no
today,
Debo and no McCaffrey.
Well, I read today that right now it's looking like they're both going to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought McCaffrey was already ruled out.
No.
Oh.
No.
Well,
They
if
said he was
play,
getting an
then
MRI on his oblique.
And it looks good, so it looks like they're both most likely going to play. They're both questionable.
He's pretty
still.
tough SOB.
If they're all healthy, they're going to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably stick with San Francisco. But I do like. I'm a tiny fan of Kirk Cousins. So
Yeah,
No, I like Kirk.
I like
It
to
is
root
just
for
nothing
Kirk
against
Cousins.
Yeah,
Kirk.
but I want to see Kirk Cousins be good without Justin Jefferson one time because last
Yeah.
week he wasn't very good.
He was not.
And that was his,
And had an
that was his
opportunity- and an
first week of
opportunity-
no Jefferson.
It had an opportunity to be so against a
Yeah.
not good
Yep.
defense.
I had Kirk Cousins in several sleeper parlays for 2 touchdowns, and he failed me.
He didn't look that good.
It was sad.
Right.
It was a sad ending for my parlay.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. They all lost.
They all lost.
And Minnesota can't
I
run
did
the
bad.
ball this year.
No, they can't. And Madison.
It's weird.
Is,
It's like Madison's not as good as Dalvin Cook.
Madison is quite terrible.
But last year, Madison was good, so
He
it's
was.
not just Madison,
Right.
but I think the team in general is just.
Yeah.
I'm sure their line looks bad. I haven't watched their games
Yeah.
really close, but
Yeah, it's Madison and then Akers, and currently off the attempts that Akers has had in Minnesota, he's been more productive. But it's probably fluky
Yeah.
because it's Akers.
it's also pretty easy to be more productive than Madison right now.
Doesn't
Yes.
take much.
Does not take much.
Does not take much. All right, well, that's the slate. We're at an hour. You guys got any final thoughts? Anything we didn't touch on? So we don't just end on football? Any thoughts? Did any of your kids do something that made you really mad this week?
I mean, you mean other than the 87 times he came out of his bedroom?
Yeah, other than that.
Other than that? No.
Including that.
Nothing that made me that.
No?
Nothing that made me that angry.
I mean, not like really mad, just like,
Frustrated? Irritated?
poor kid.
Yeah, that's me on like the
80th
80th time I've come out. Why?
You know how you're really tired? I have a cure. Go sleep.
Go to sleep. See how you're whining right now? We can fix that. Go to
Can't fall
sleep.
asleep? Try this.
Close your eyes.
My favorite is, I don't know how to fall asleep. Well, seeing as
I've
your
heard
eyes
that.
are wide open and you're choosing to not close them,
I've literally heard that.
I will literally give you the instructions. I'm going to turn the lights off. You're going to close your eyes.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
Right.
Everyone does it every day.
Every day.
All you gotta do is close your eyes.
And you're good for 8 hours in this whole
Probably
magical
10,
world
as little
called
as you
your
are.
dreams.
Be solid. Be solid.
Sometimes dreams are more fun than real life is.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, in all my dreams, I find a big bag of money. And then I wake up, There's no bag of
I
money.
went to
You
sleep
must
and I
really want
found the
some
bag again. Yeah.
I don't know why that's a reoccurring dream I have.
Yeah.
I'm walking on the sidewalk and there's this brown paper bag just sitting on the curb. I pick
Oh,
it
so
up.
I just assumed duffel bag. You're
It-
talking like lunch sack, just
lunch
full
sack,
of cash.
full of money. And I'm like, this is awesome. This
is great.
And then I wake up and I go, this is disappointing.
I
It
literally
wasn't
had a
real.
dream one time that I had money and I put it under my bed, and then I woke up and I was looking for the money under my bed for like 20 minutes, and then I was like, "Oh shit! I think that was a dream."
That wasn't real.
Ah,
Dang it!
shoot!
It's the worst.
I hate it.
I hate it when good dreams aren't real.
Right. Yeah, that's fact though.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll call it there.
Another
Podcast, episode 3, done. What was that stat that you said last week? 90% of podcasts stop at
90% of podcasts don't get past episode 1.
We're on 3.
We're in episode 3.
Yep.
3, and we'll be here for episode 4 next week. So, see ya.